Hello friends and froggies, I'm Emilie Gordon of Tiny Pandora's Be Seen, Be Known design team.
Today we're going to be making an easy impressionist cane. These are two examples using the same basic techniques. For tools, you will need a pasta machine, work surface, cutting blade, cane caps, and cane benders. Square pairs or square benders can also be useful for shaping right angles and for rolling even noodles. For colors, choose whatever suits your fancy. For the calm sunset colors, I mixed the brighter colors with ecru. There are no rules with your colors or color blending. I turned most of the colors into Skinner blends to create variation throughout the sky. Some colors and the black base are also blended with pearl clays for a subtle shimmer. I use an Atlas pasta machine where 0 is the thickest setting. For the sky, I ran all the blends on a 2 thickness and cut strips approximately 2 inches length by 1 centimeter. That's about 1.5 of the 1/4 inch markings if your work surface has a measurement grid on it. For the landscape foundation, I ran it through the pasta machine on a 0 and cut a 2-inch square. For the tree, I cut a few 2-inch strips of various widths and made 4 thicker strips, 3 with tapered edges and the top one a triangle. You can use the square pairs and cane benders to shape the strips and create right angles. Cut a few of your sunset color strips in half to make narrower strips and pinch the square edge to a gentle taper. Alternate your tree pieces and sunset pieces, starting with the largest at the landscape and building toward the top of the tree. Think about what colors you want where in your sky when you do this. Start to build some more trees or hills or mountains. Most of what you'll be building for the sky is round, so fill in the gaps with smaller strips or triangles. You can use the cane benders to shape fill pieces and to apply even pressure when settling them into place. You can use the square pairs to roll an even noodle. You can keep an eye on it through the clear acrylic to make sure it's the size and even shape that you want. We'll make a lot of rolls, and I like to fill the center with either a small noodle or a half strip. To create a roll, choose 2 or 3 colors from your blends and start overlapping strips. I overlap them about 50%, but overlapping more will give you longer, finer color lines in your spirals. The more strips you put together, the bigger your roll will be. Run them through the pasta machine on 2 with the strips parallel to the rollers. Place your noodle or small strip at one end and roll. If your clay is too stiff and cracks when you try to roll it, keep it warm. I like to use a microwavable gel pack and lay out my pieces on that while it's warm to keep the clay soft and workable for caning. Start building your sky with spirals. I generally went from warm to cool colors and from light to dark. Fill in the gaps between rolls and landscape shapes as needed, and use cane benders to press the fill pieces into place. Mix white and silver pearl for the moon and make 2 large stars out of white pearl. I've found that you get less distortion of these important pieces if you wrap them before placing them in the cane. Use a cane bender to create an opening the correct shape if needed. Continue to build and fill until your desired size and shape of cane is achieved. I went for about 2 inches square on the face. That first cut into a finished cane is a little bit like opening a present on Christmas. You're not sure if it's what you were really hoping for or if it's going to be a pair of black itchy socks. I think we did okay on this one. That's a happy little tree. Here's a cane I made using the same techniques but with some vertical pieces of clay and the landscape. I used both the square and round cane caps to reduce both of these canes. The less air you get trapped between the cane and the cane cap, the more precisely preserved your image will be. But as you can see, even though there was a bubble in one of my canes, it still kept the shape pretty well, and I'll have minimal waste on the end of the cap. I hope this takes some of the scariness out of landscape caning for you. When your goal is an impressionist picture, you really can't go wrong. And if you're making something like a cabochon, you can take an individual slice of the cane and gently stretch pieces into shape if you feel like something is too distorted. I used a Sculpey mold for perfect round cabochons and finished them with a deep shine UV resin glaze. And there you have it, an easy, impressionist, happy little tree.